I almost forgot to do a clap sync. Jonah, you just ruined the whole thing.
I missed it. I'm not used to this stand being here.
That was the first clap sync that we haven't nailed.
I know.
So this episode is doomed.
Mostly good. Jonah, you're fired.
All right,
So-
guys.
so
I'll
we'll
go
be getting
home. I'll call
another-
Josh, see if he wants to come back.
No, he's
Yeah.
still fired.
Get him on the phone. All right. Hey, thank you for tuning in to the movie rubric. I forgot the name of our podcast for a second. My name is Timothy
too
McDaniel.
Cole Wright.
Jonah Joe Y.
And this week we went and saw Beetlejuice, and I'm going to pause so that we don't do it again. Did we ever determine if you wait between saying the name a third time as he's summoned? Has that ever been discussed?
I don't know. I don't know what the rules are.
Yeah, I don't know
on
what
that.
the lore is there.
I think it's just like whenever it's convenient for the plot.
Yeah, that's also very valid. So this was the legacy sequel to Tim Burton's original Beetlejuice.
Well, now you've said it now we're screwed.
Oh,
Now
that's
it's
that's kind of why I waited. So, if Jonah just exploded right then and there, we'd know what's going on. If he just exploded,
comes out through the closet over there like, hey, guys.
table cracks in half and he rises up out of the
rises
middle.
up.
So, first off, before we start talking about this movie and we kind of dive into some spoiler-free stuff, you guys have both seen the original, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's been a hot second since I've seen it, but I remember
Same.
I always enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
And
Goofy fun.
Now, you've seen it, you liked it, right? What would you give on a scale if you were running this through the rubric? Here's what I wanted to kind of judge. If you're running this through the rubric, you don't have to go in and plug in each thing into the spots. But if you're just going to give it like a letter grade, like a paper, what would you give it?
I'd give it a mid to high B.
High B?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm in the same boat, like a B plus.
Yeah, I'd say B plus.
B plus.
Also.
And I'm actually surprised you've seen it. Where did you watch it at?
I think it was at
Matt and Molly.
Matt Molly's
For, like,
party.
a
I watched it
Halloween
when I was
party.
like
When we
younger
watched it in the
beyond.
backyard.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
That's like the worst way to watch.
That's
that
probably the
movie,
worst
too.
way to watch it. But I mean, I liked it.
Yeah. That's the only time you've seen it?
I think when I was younger, it'd be like on every now and then. But
I gotcha.
it was like, I didn't remember
One
a
of
whole
those
lot
classic
it.
Halloween movies you got to watch.
Yeah, it's just kind of on sometimes, you know.
Turn you up just a bit. You cut out just a minute there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I liked the original movie. I know that it's considered a cult classic to many. Even one of the people with us was like, "Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. It's a classic. It's a classic. It's a classic." Did you guys ever consider it a classic?
I think it's weird because there's classics throughout the year, then there's specific holiday classics.
Like Die Hard?
Yeah.
Die Hard's definitely a Christmas classic.
Yeah.
But I'd say Beetlejuice is a Halloween classic.
Okay.
Not in the sense of obviously it's not scary. It's but it's a fun, goofy, over the top film.
Valid.
I've never been, my whole family's never been a big Halloween family. So that's why I wouldn't really consider it a classic, but I don't really have a lot of Halloween classics. But I mean, I would rank it in the higher of Halloween movies personally, but it's not a classic for me, of course.
I'm curious to know what else would be up in your, because we talked about our scary movies, but do you have a better Halloween movie?
This may be a hot take. I really like the first Hotel Transylvania movie.
Get the heck out of here.
That one's a banger. The first one's good. The rest of them are bad.
I mean, better than
what else?
Beetlejuice, though?
Probably not better than Beetlejuice. Do I like it more than Beetlejuice? Probably.
Okay.
But is it better?
Valid.
Probably not.
What about you, Cole?
But I like a lot of horror movies. That's the problem. Classic.
It's Halloween night. You and the boys put in a movie.
I mean, most of the Halloween movies I would go for,
Yeah.
except for Ends and maybe some of the other ones in the late 80s. But
Yeah. I think mine used to be Alien. Would be my go-to,
yeah,
a
Alien,
monster
Oh,
movie.
Trick or Treat. That's another one I feel that doesn't get enough.
We watched it at a movie night, and I
Yeah.
liked that. That was good.
Trick or Treat
Yeah.
was really good.
Trick or Treat was really good. Mine would either be The Conjuring or Alien. But yeah, no. So
Nightmare
I
on Elm
vote.
Street. Can't really go wrong.
I always enjoyed the movie, and I guess that's where I was curious. I meant to ask you guys. I almost asked you on the drive home, and I thought I'm going to wait. I'll ask them on the podcast. But on the way home and on the way there, and just kind of around in my life, people keep referring to the old Beetlejuice. They're propping it up on a pedestal. They're calling it a classic. They're saying this movie did it justice. But I don't feel like Beetlejuice was ever true classic status, at least for me with my family. So
I mean,
Yeah, not for my family. I can see why it is.
I would say it is. I'll be in the minority on that.
okay. I don't think you're the minority. I think you're the majority. I think it definitely is.
I think culturally, it definitely is a classic.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm ready for that Beetlejuice Fortnite skin to drop.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
It's probably going to happen.
That's what I was going to say. What are they doing? Epic.
I'm sure it's probably happening.
Well, there's
soon.
honestly so many. It could have it could already be out and we just didn't know.
You watch. I'm going to boot it up when I get home, and I'm going to see. Oh, here's Beetlejuice.
There really is a lot of skins that I didn't realize are there. I'm reading the tangent. Sorry, I'm reading Brandon Sanderson right now, and I just finished Mistborn. And someone on Reddit put, "Hey, I didn't realize." I got on the Mistborn subreddit after I finished the series. They're like, "Did you know that there's a Vin skin from Mistborn in Fortnite?" And I was like, "There's no way. No one has read
the
that."
book.
Like as far as like reading books go, very few people have read this series. But there it was. There was multiple Mistborn skins in Fortnite. I'm like, dang.
Oh, yeah.
They've really got everything.
They throw something. They find something to throw
They
in
found
there
something
like every
obscure,
3
like,
weeks.
hey, the fan base will buy this because they're diehard enough to go buy it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get Beetlejuice. We're probably gonna get Bob.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe Bob's hitbox.
I
would be
want that Willem Dafoe cop.
weird. Yeah, you said that in the theater. I was like, that would be a good one.
That would be
Yeah.
a great one.
That'd be a good one.
We'll probably get like Jenny Ortega's character.
Probably Lydia Dietz.
Forgot her
Winona
name.
Ryder.
Dietz.
Yeah.
Nuts. I'm sorry.
Nuts.
That-
Got him.
the fact that joke wasn't made in the movie made me very sad.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it was setting it up for it.
Since Beetlejuice has came out, like D's nuts jokes have gotten very popular. I cannot believe
Yeah.
they didn't make a Deets nuts joke.
And he would love that.
He would.
Beetlejuice would love
It's
that.
right up his alley.
Oh, yeah.
What was this movie rated? Was it PG-13?
I think it's
I think it was
PG-13.
PG-13. I think it pushed it a little bit
I
sometimes.
mean, they got their one F word in there. That's why they censored the second one.
They got
Yeah.
the one, and then I noticed they censored the second one, and I was like, is this movie PG-13? Because I feel like it was pushing the boundary, like you said.
Yeah. With some of the...
What was the original?
Gore.
Was it PG-13?
Call it that?
I think so. I don't think,
I think
it was
so.
R.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's also the 80s, and they could get away with a lot more.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true.
PG movies could have the F-bomb in it.
PG
Yeah.
movies could, like,
Do whatever.
have people having sex on screen.
It's
And,
just like,
parental
I know. Close
guidance
enough.
just meant your parents had to give you permission to watch it.
Yeah.
You showed me Airplane back in the day. I had never seen it. Now it's one of my favorite movies. Thank you. But like you showed me Airplane back in the day, and
had
I
a big old
remember
set of tits on screen.
yeah, we were watching it, and there's just a scene where a girl runs in and flashes the camera and runs off, and I was like,
Well, then.
wow, okay. And then I just assumed that the movie was rated R, and then years later,
PG.
upon a rewatch, it's PG. I was like, whoa, okay.
That was early 80s, so they really didn't care then.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was insane. Sorry, that was I'm glad I asked my question. Did not mean to get on quite such a tangent. Let's talk about Beetlejuice, the second film, the sequel, the first legacy sequel. We talked about this on the way home. I feel like we say this every show. It's really hard to talk about the movie without spoiling it, but we really liked it, right?
Yeah, I liked it.
Would you say it was funnier or less funny than the first one?
I mean, I would have to go back. I mean, it's been a few years since I've watched the first one. So I would need to watch it again to kind of give it the true side-by-side.
Well, like, what's your gut say?
I mean, I laughed a lot at this one. It's tough. Because it's
He just sounded like Willem Dafoe there for a second. Like, I don't know, you just had
It's
the growl.
tough.
Yeah,
It's tough.
It's tough.
well, here's the problem. I have a few years of me not watching the first one. And then this one I just watched last week. So, I mean, there's going to be recency bias, and also maybe it's not fair to the first movie then. So, I don't know if I can give an accurate answer on that one.
That's valid. I will say, and it probably is recency bias. Anyone who's a huge Beetlejuice fan, it probably is recency bias. Please don't string me up. I remember this movie a lot more. This movie, like, I watched the first one. I've seen it 4 times maybe, just spread out. I saw it once in high school, and then over the last 11 years, I've seen it probably 3 or 4 times. But I feel like it has very few scenes that just stand out to me a lot. I can remember a lot of the jokes from this movie. Part of it is that recency bias, but I don't feel like it should overshadow it that much. So I shared this on the car ride home.
It's a good duology.
It's a great duology. Yeah. I think I need to go back and, like Cole said, watch them back to back. I might like this one more than the first. I think it might be better.
There's definitely a debate to be had.
I would also have to watch the first one again to really dig into that.
It's not fair to the first one because we just saw the second one.
But the fact that, like, I think that I can say that and people don't start screeching
Yeah, I mean,
means that
Testament,
it's got like a little bit of
it's going to be a debate for the ages.
Yeah.
yeah. I just
Which is
think
good.
And I don't think there's really one of those. It's one of those debates where like there is no wrong answer on it because I think both are similar enough, like loved enough that like I don't think it'll be like blood and everything
Yeah,
over
I get a lot of pushback.
fist
from that.
fighting.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying though is like the fact that you don't think there'd be a lot of blood and fighting means that this movie is phenomenal.
Yes.
Because like normally with a legacy sequel like this, people are very defensive of the original property.
Right.
And if I was to get on Facebook right now, I might say that later. Like I got a lot of flack No one commented on my Facebook post about Alien Romulus. I got a lot of in-person flack. Like, really? I was like,
They thought it was like better than the first one.
Alien. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is random. I just now put something together. Twisters was another Legacy sequel I need to include on our thing.
There
Oh,
it is.
true. Let's throw that in there.
Spoiler alert, after this episode, we're going to do a bonus episode ranking Legacy sequels. You're right. How can we forget? I'm surprised there's not a more comprehensive list of these.
IMDb
think so.
is just where I got mine from.
Yeah.
So I just kind of just went down the list.
Surprised that wasn't on there because that's pretty new.
It wasn't. It was.
Yeah.
But normally, yeah, when you say something is better than its like 15-year-old sequel, people get like really butthurt. So I think
I mean, there's some senses which we're going to get into it where
Yeah.
it's just, it's facts when it's like the new one, they should have just left it alone.
Oh, for sure. That definitely has its instance.
Like, stop doing things.
Oh my gosh!
Whoa.
Did you guys
Is
hear
that a
that?
sneeze or a cough?
Yeah, that was a J.J. Abrams that crept out of me.
Snuff?
There. Yeah.
Space Jam.
Oh, Space Jam 2. Cough, 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 cough.
LeBron.
LeBron James.
Jonah, do you have one you want to cough out real quick? I mean, you got to sneeze. You look like you have to sneeze.
See, I was going to do a bit, but I can't think of anything.
Avatar.
Avatar.
That's not even a Legacy
That's
sequel.
not a legacy sequel.
It's just a film in general. that
Last
shouldn't
Jedi's
have been-
good.
Well, we're not going to talk about that on this next one.
Sorry.
We're going to say that for
bear.
My therapist told me to do some breathing exercises when I heard those words. All right. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Did we enjoy Beetlejuice? Should people leave the comfort of their homes, venture out into what is allergy/COVID/RSV city, and go see this movie in a movie theater? I say thumbs up. It's worth the risk. I really enjoyed it. Pay the money. Go see this movie in the theater.
I'm also going to give 2 thumbs up.
I give it a thumbs up.
Only one? Give me your reasons why you're not giving the second thumb, but you're entitled to your opinion. I just for the content, I want
Just
to know
know that
why.
we're going to gang up on you this entire...
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a thumbs up because it's really good and it's really fun. It has some flaws, though, so I can't say like 2 thumbs up.
Okay.
So we can get that later.
Valid,
Yeah.
Valid. Okay.
Oh, I can't wait to tell you how wrong you are.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you might agree with some of them.
this
probably
is
will.
Jonah's last episode on the podcast.
Man, I'm going to get grilled right now.
Alrighty. You want a spoiler warning? We want to talk about the movie? Leadle. Okay. I never know immediately how to lead out of that. Yeah, it was good. So Jonah, I think I have one big glaring problem with this movie.
Well, I think we may have the same one.
It's probably the same
Probably
one.
all the same one.
Tell me now that we're in the spoiler zone.
Spoilers.
Can you put the spoilers picture on the screen when you edit this?
So, yeah, I'll do that. I'll go, I think it's the same one you said, but I think it's more of a broader sense. I think more so than the first movie, from what I remember, this movie has a lot of fluff on the plot.
Okay.
So, and the main thing, which I think is what you guys are going to say, is the wife storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
Ex-wife.
ex-wife. Sorry. This is
good.
Juice.
You're
It's Juice. But, so like, there's this whole subplot with Beetlejuice's wife from when he was alive, his ex-wife, and she's like chasing after him and she can kill him. And a decent chunk of the movie is about her. Like, kind of. You have like the opening, which even some of the scenes were good. I mean, the scene where it's like a 30s movie telling like how her and Beetlejuice met and everything. Those were good scenes. But then it's a lot of the movie. It's her chasing him down. And then she finally finds him. And it's she's completely unconnected from the rest of the plot. He finds him, and then she just dies. She gets, like, got by the sandworm.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it kind of makes the rest of the movie, it's kind of like, well, a lot of that was, like, didn't really matter to the plot because Beetlejuice still wants to marry the Lydia. He doesn't need the girl for that. Beetlejuice barely even runs into her. She just kind of does her own thing, and then she finally shows up and dies. Yeah. So, yeah.
You could have, like, just removed her from the movie. I don't think it changes the movie that much.
Yeah. And I think it sucks because, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, not at all.
There. And I think it sucks because, like, when she was introduced, I'm like, this is a really cool, like, idea. Like, she can kill people in the afterlife.
Kill ghosts.
She can kill ghosts. She has this past of Beetlejuice. She's how Beetlejuice died and, like, got here. And then nothing came from it. So
Just
I
like,
thought it was a cool idea. It just didn't go.
Wait till we get to the Beetlejuice times 3.
But yeah, Beetlejuice. When she comes back again, they're setting up.
Because she's not dead. They said, like, they kind of all but said the only way to die is to have your soul sucked.
Yeah.
And she's the one that does it.
So I'm assuming
She's
she's
in limbo.
I'm
In the
assuming
sand
she's
area.
in like hell where the teenage kid got dumped off to.
Yeah, or in the desert because the
She's
the
in
sandworm came out. The
Dune
desert.
over
Oh
there.
yeah, she's off in Dune Arrakis world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I brought that up when we were at the theater. The biggest plot hole problem with this entire movie is the fact that the ex-wife's storyline has no real bearing on the movie. But it also doesn't, for me, I would still...
Not going to hurt it.
For should you go see the movie, it's still 2 thumbs up. I'm going to knock a point off for plot for sure, but I don't think it hurt the film. This is a rare instance where there is very clearly, without a doubt, something you could change to a movie, like make a cut, and it would make the movie maybe just as good, if not better, but that its addition doesn't ruin the movie. I'm having a
I would
hard
agree
time
with that. Yeah.
thinking of a similar thing. Maybe like Slimer in Ghostbusters. Like Slimer, because if you cut Slimer, he wouldn't ruin, like the movie would still be okay. He kind of makes, he makes the movie better, I'd say. So
He's
that's
pretty
not
iconic,
He
yeah.
makes the movie better. So I don't know. I can't think of another example where,
You can cut half the plot out of Way of Water and it'd be better.
but still that doesn't apply to this because you're saying, I believe your opinion would be, is that extra plot makes the movie worse.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this extra plot makes the movie that much worse.
I would agree with that. I think the reason I didn't want to do 2 thumbs up is I'm thinking 2 thumbs up, like, oh, this is masterpiece.
You're reserving your thumb.
Yes, this is
gotcha.
masterpiece material right here. Go see it right now.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
That's valid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's go ahead and we said we will all really liked the movie. Let's go ahead and start with our least favorite scene. Does anyone have a least favorite? Hopefully you guys thought on it at least a little bit. I'm going to be totally honest. I didn't think about it as much as I should.
I mean, I have a few that like stick out with me.
Yeah, what was yours?
Well, the first one was them sending that kid to hell.
You didn't like that?
like that?
No, I thought you said. Oh, you said least favorite.
Least favorite. I was
yeah.
going to say, I thought that was
I thought you said
that was
favorite. My
hilarious,
bad.
yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
My
Yeah.
bad. My bad. I misheard you.
That's all right.
I don't really have a least favorite.
Why would you do least favorite? I said favorite. I'm kidding. No.
Yeah, don't
It's like,
gaslight
can we
go back and
gaslight?
forth.
Can we? How many times
Yeah.
can we get them to go
Dude
back and
said
forth?
favorite.
I'll start. I think my least favorite scene, I'm nitpicking here because most of them were good, is either one, and this is a low-hanging fruit. I have a better one than this. The low-hanging fruit is whenever his ex-wife sucks Bob's soul out. I feel like killing Bob felt unnecessary because wasn't he in the first one? Am I making that up? I thought he was in the first one. Like a person with his head
Yeah.
was in the first
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I thought that
May
was
not
Bob.
be Bob.
His type of people.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
type of people. They were in the first one. I don't know. I just thought that was cheap and did literally nothing for the plot other than kill someone who I thought was a pretty cool character that they could have had been returning.
Yeah, very sad.
If they make a threequel. My actual least favorite scene, the not low hanging fruit, was the meet cute between Minnie Dietz and Ghost Boy in the treehouse.
Mini Deets.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they did a decent job at like hiding the fact that he was a ghost. Like they set it up enough that it's like I kind of wondered. I actually thought she might be a ghost. I thought how cool would it be if she died when she hit her head on the tree, and her mom doesn't realize she's dead until like halfway through the movie.
Oh, that'd be.
Oh, that'd be a good twist.
I thought that would have been. I thought that's where they were going with it. I thought
Yeah.
it was going to be like the mom finds out that she died or doesn't realize she died, and then she's trying to talk to her at one point, and like grandma doesn't see her or something like that, and then they were going to be trying to bring her back. I think that personally that would have been cooler, but that's regard the fact. They did a good job of hiding the fact that he was a ghost while still setting it up. It was just some of the cringiest dialogue I've ever heard. I actually don't like most of Minnie Dietz's dialogue.
Really?
What's her name?
Jenna Ortega.
Well, that's the actress.
Okay.
What's the character's name?
Astrid.
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 Yeah.
I didn't like a lot of Astrid's dialogue. She the very first scene we're introduced to her is whenever, and it's the line that they put from the trailer, and it's like, when you guys are on your third kid and second divorce, you're gonna regret being mean to me, and I so something along those lines. And I just thought that
Edgy
was
emo.
Yeah, that was such like some like shower argument dialogue, like something that like a teenage girl would say in the shower but would never actually really say out loud, especially if they're intelligent like they show her to be.
Yeah.
And I just thought the meet cute dialogue was very cheesy and obnoxious, but my wife loved it. She was over there going like squirming in the chair. She thought it was adorable. So clearly that's for some people.
Yeah.
Do you guys think of a least favorite scene?
I mean, I would agree with you on that. I mean, it's this movie. There's a lot to like.
You'll usually have a smile on your face for most of the movie, I feel like.
Yeah.
So
I laughed a lot.
I laughed a lot. I don't know. I would probably go with low hanging fruit and say Bob too. I was kind of sad when Bob died, and then when she didn't do anything, I was kind of like, dang, Bob died for nothing.
He died for nothing.
He died for nothing. Rest in peace, a real one.
Like, kill Bob. Kill him for a purpose.
Yeah.
Like he squeals where Beetlejuice is at or something. Like
I thought there was gonna be a cool moment where he talks.
Yeah.
because she rips his stitches out. But
Sorry, I just snorted right in the mic. I'm fighting some stuff. But no, like she sucked his soul out. He died and then
died again. Double
that was
died.
it. That was it. Like
Yeah.
he had no purpose for dying.
Dead.
So
Dead for nothing.
all right. So let's flip it. Cole,
Now we're on favorites.
favorite scene.
Sending that kid to hell.
That was your favorite scene. Okay.
It was just funny. It was just
it
like
was
That
really
caught me
funny.
so
it
off
went
guard.
so unhinged, so quick.
That was the F bomb too, right?
Yeah.
When he says it.
No.
He says later effer, right?
Yeah, he said
No,
later. He
it-
said later effer.
Did he?
Yeah,
I thought they
that-
used that somewhere else.
No, that's where they got their F bomb in.
Gotcha.
And
So-
yeah, that caught me so off guard. And I didn't expect like Beetlejuice to be the guy. And then like you're like, oh,
I mean, the Soul Train was pretty funny too.
Soul Train was
Soul
pretty
Train was
funny.
good. They
Yeah.
didn't make Beetlejuice much of an actual villain in this. Like in the first movie, I feel like he was definitely
He's
a villain.
an anti-hero.
He's an anti.
In this one, he was more of an anti-hero. He wasn't so much like antagonist so much as he was like...
He was just a third party that was just needed something. So there's like this whole triangle of things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if... I don't mind it. I don't mind that they didn't make him a villain, but
People like Beetlejuice. They don't want to hate him.
it got to the
Yeah,
point where
that's
like
true.
when she was like having to marry him, I was like,
He's not that bad.
is that so bad?
Is that so
He's a
bad?
cool guy. He's
Like,
funny.
he's
He's
better
helped you
than
out
the
a
guy
lot.
you were
Yeah.
about to marry. He saved your daughter. He's probably going to save your mom. He like exposed the guy you're about to marry. Like he helped save that marriage. And I was just like the whole time I was like, is he the worst one? Like,
Yeah. He even gave her like that boxing glove to punch him with. I was like, you know,
But
wow,
then-
Beetlejuice pretty chill.
I do have a close second though. After that,
What's
it's
that?
it's Defoe coming out of the mausoleum, storming the church. with
That
his-
was good.
Oh, that was good.
He
His
was
whole
going
character
hard. He was going
funny.
hard with
Yeah.
that. Defoe looked like he was having a good time.
That character was a genius idea. Like
That
that
was
actor
super good.
that was played a cop and now he is a cop.
I
But he has no
loved the-
idea what he's doing. Yeah.
Loved the bit of they just keep bringing him coffee. He never sips the coffee.
He just
a
keeps-
single time in
time.
that movie. She keeps bringing him coffee, and every single time he squeezes it or throws it or splashes
Has,
it on
has
someone.
some one liner with it
He
also.
never
Throws it
actually
away.
drinks the coffee the whole movie, and that was maybe one of my favorite bits, like reoccurring jokes.
Yeah, that was so good.
I think my favorite scene, although it's very like lame and boring to pick, is the church scene where they're what's the song? Cake in the Rain. What is that song actually called?
I don't know. What's on my head.
left the cake out in the rain.
I don't know the name of it.
That just that whole scene jumping back and forth between the cops. So they sing "Cake in the Rain." They're going as the cops are storming the
They
church.
jumped through the glass and the balcony. Yeah.
Just how funny that scene was, and just off the wall. That is Beetlejuice's humor when it's at its best.
The-
I thought that
The
whole
little,
scene was
little
great.
kids
Yeah.
choir singing at that funeral.
Oh, that was
yeah.
really good too, though.
People were dying at that in the theater.
Yeah.
No. Here's the thing.
They
Jonah.
weren't, though. Our
They
row
weren't.
was.
I
It was
was
just
mad.
us?
I
Oh,
voiced
yeah.
this in the van. I felt like we were the only row laughing.
The
Like-
whole movie?
Did
No.
you not feel that way?
I mean, there's
Maybe I'm just so like
I think
into
on
it.
certain parts because we're morbid and twisted, but
I feel like there was a couple times that the audience gave like a, huh. But like there's a couple times I was cracking up laughing, and I felt like the people behind me and in front of me were just like dead silent, and I felt weird laughing.
I only thought that. I thought that when the kid went to hell, because I thought that was a knockout laugh, and I feel like I was like dying. I thought it was hilarious, and then no one else. People were like chuckling, but I thought that would like make the theater erupt. You know,
It was
That's
weird,
funny.
yeah. Like I guess like I don't know if people were just really we had a stiff audience or something. I don't know,
Maybe
but
it was
yeah.
packed.
But the children's choir singing, I felt like there was only 3 or 4 of us laughing.
it was so
our row,
it was
and
so ridiculous.
everyone
and I
else
loved
was
it.
just silent. And I
Yeah.
don't know if they didn't realize what song they were singing at first, because like as soon as I heard that first line, and it was the melody line, I was like, oh my gosh, they're singing the banana song that we sang in grade school, and I just started chuckling. And
Yeah.
I don't know, that was.
I mean, that with the shark fin tombstone.
Oh yeah,
that's what that. I didn't even realize. That's
I didn't even
what that
catch that
was.
either
Yeah.
until you said
I thought
that,
it was
yeah.
just some fancy rich person.
No, it was
tombstone.
a shark fin because he got killed by a shark.
that scene too with the guy, the claymation.
the
scene,
claymation, yeah.
where it's like he died in a plane crash. He died in the plane crash. Well, no, he got out of the plane. Oh, he drowned? Nah, he didn't drown. He was about to survive, and then a shark bit the top half.
I was
of his
kind of
body
hoping
off.
they'd keep that going a little bit.
Like longer, yeah.
I mean,
it's on an island.
It's funny, but not funny. Why they had to do claymation and everything.
Yeah, Josh explained it in the theater. I didn't know about it. If you want to explain it.
The dude that was the dad in the first one that was supposed to come back and do this one, he got convicted of being a child predator. So they killed him off in one of the worst ways possible, and he walked around the afterlife with no head.
Yep, no head, no upper body.
They didn't even want to show him, to give him the time of day to even CG him in, so they just did claymation.
That I didn't realize that going into the theater. Maddox explained it to me as we were leaving, and I was like, "That is really funny." I was like, "That's really good."
Creative way to do that.
And really, the claymation is like, it fits the tone with how absurd this movie is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was cool.
they did claymation in the first one, didn't they?
Think so, a little bit, yeah.
There's parts.
I know the sandworm in the first one was claymation,
Yeah, definitely.
but
I thought the claymation looked good.
it did look really good.
Yeah,
The
it's cool.
sandworm looked really good, all things considered, too. Like, they did a good job. I remember as Dune 2 was, like, reaching its peak, Tim Burton he's like, hey, they're not the only movie coming out with sandworms right now. And
That's
was, like,
true.
tweeting
There's
pictures
more,
of
yeah.
the sandworm out. I thought that was pretty good. Jonah, what was your favorite scene?
Probably the same. I mean, that part made me die when he goes later and then he goes to hell. But if I had to pick another one, I don't know. There's so many good ones. I like the church scene a lot. Those are really good. It isn't really a scene, but a collection of scenes. Any scene with the grandma and doing some like insensitive art project.
The grandma was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
freaking
there's a Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah,
Her
the
name?
drape over the whole house.
That was pretty good.
Drape over the house was
Yeah,
too
so
good.
That
good.
was funny.
Yeah.
I saw the drape over the house in the trailers, though. So this is one of those movies.
It's funnier now. It's funnier like
Yeah.
Yes, it is funnier now. I don't know. Like, this is one of those movies that, like, I watched the trailer for it because I was like, oh, it's Beetlejuice. Like, but it's reconfirmed my belief I shouldn't watch trailers because I feel like half of the best jokes were in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of jokes that I would have loved if I hadn't been spoiled by them dropping that same joke in the trailer. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't have hated the line that Atlas or whatever her face is drops as much about
Atlas.
3 divorce and 2 kids, whatever her name is.
Astrid.
Astrid.
Yeah.
If I hadn't heard
Atlas
it
was the last movie.
24 times in the trailers for the movie. So the drape over the house was pretty funny, though.
Actually, they changed the line from the trailer.
Did they?
Because the line from the trailer was something about banging your Pilates instructor. This one didn't mention that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you are right.
I do remember that. I
Actually,
say that.
I wonder if they had to record like a bunch of lines for that.
And they just picked one.
Picked one.
I kind of like the Pilates instructor one more. That one's a little funnier.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see them back to back.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll pull up the trailer here in a little bit.
I also really enjoyed after they initially go meet Beetlejuice in the little model town, and they come back, and it's like
Complain that
Oh,
he's
he's
it's
already
like,
singing it.
like
Yeah.
they're like squinting, and it like zooms in, and it's just a small version of him playing some like love ballad.
Yeah,
on acoustic
lip-syncing it.
guitar.
That was really
That was
good.
really good. I like that.
Let me ask: favorite character, least favorite character. Does anyone have a different favorite character that's not Beetlejuice?
I mean, Beetlejuice is number one because Keaton brought his A game on this one.
yeah.
Um,
I assumed yours would have been Defoe.
I mean, Defoe's up there. He's a close second. I mean, it's Defoe, and I really like. I mean, I don't think there's really a character I
Disliked.
dislike. I mean,
Yeah.
minus the irrelevant ex-wife.
She's probably my least favorite character just because
She's
of
irrelevant.
irrelevancy.
I like
Yeah.
DeVito's part in that, and he was on there for 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, that was funny too. I was like, "Is that him?" I was like, "That is him."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when I realized it was him. He's one of those actors you can see from behind.
Yep,
like
yep,
I saw
that's
that
gotta
from
be
behind.
him.
I was like, "That's Danny DeVito. Let's go."
Is that another short, funny man, or is that him?
Oh, so he's like
They-
foreigners.
Yeah,
Only Danny DeVito can get away with saying
that's
stuff
saying
like
something like that.
I mean, Defoe was great. The grandma was funny. The dude that was trying to marry Lydia,
He was,
so
he
funny.
was great.
He was
Yeah.
just ridiculous, and I loved him.
I thought I'd hate him based off of like the trailers. I loved him though.
Oh,
He's
he
kind of like
he's just
the-
awkward humor is what it is.
He's kind of like the grandma where they're not good people. They're terrible people, but they're such terrible people that they're hilarious, and you kind of
Yeah.
love them. Yeah,
I thought it was surprising that the grandma didn't even like him.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
even the grandma was against this guy, and I figured
Yeah.
she would have been for him.
I mean, proposing at the wake.
The
was-
wake,
yeah,
and
was-
then
was
scheduling the wedding for 2 days.
Yeah, completely just cringy, awkward, and I loved it.
I
Yeah.
never took Mama Dietz to be a stupid character, though. That's my only complaint about that guy is that I feel like how obviously he was manipulating her.
Yeah.
Kind of made her look stupid.
Maybe you gotta think maybe she's in such disarray with everything that he's taking advantage of that.
Maybe.
Like he has a bit of brain fog going on,
Yeah.
That's what it kind of seemed like.
hindering
more like,
the decision making.
like she was so like scattered that he was kind of like an afterthought. And she's like,
Just
oh,
like,
okay, I'm
like
gonna
going with like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I feel like he kind of made her seem a little ditzy when she's not supposed to be ditzy. But I still really liked him. I had another thought just a second ago. Where did it go? I lost it. It had to do with
gone.
not being stupid. Oh, the dad who's dead. Not the grandpa dad, the dad who got eaten by piranhas.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I loved that they made their marriage end in a divorce and then killed him.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't know why. Like I feel
I
like,
guess that would be more of him, maybe her not wanting to try and connect with him.
I think that also be like why it'd be further a reason why that like the daughter kind of resents her. It's like, oh, he died, and then the last few years he was alive, you weren't together. You know?
Yeah.
I dislike it in legacy sequels when we build a movie building up a relationship and then because wasn't he in the first movie? I'm not making that up, right? Maybe he wasn't.
I don't think he was.
Okay, I don't like that they had
the
her
dad?
Yeah, I thought he was in it. Maybe they have them get married off screen then. I don't know. It's just weird to me. Like they have the storyline is that they got divorced and then he died. I feel like the dying would have been enough. Like I don't know why I can't see your dad, but I miss him. Like I feel like would have been better than like your dad and I did not have a happy marriage. We hated each other. It's okay that he's dead. Like I just was such a weird angle to kind of
because then it does help the story move along though of like, the resentfulness, like Jonah said.
I do think his return seemed kind of like almost like funnily abrupt. Like I feel like in most movies it'd be like a moment like, oh my gosh, Dad, it's you, and this she's like getting carried away and she's like, Dad, and he's like, oh. And he gets up and like runs after.
I feel like their reunion, they were sitting there having coffee. They like talk for just a second. He's like, hey, sorry, I haven't been able to see you. They hug and then they leave. You're right. Like it was just very anticlimactic.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I was like, oh, I guess the dad's here now. He's hanging out.
Yep. No, he wasn't. He went right back to work.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out. See
Right
ya.
back to his 9 to 5.
Yeah.
In the underworld.
Yeah, on the Soul Train.
Yep.
The Soul Train was really funny.
Yeah,
Train was
funny
funny.
bit there.
That's the one nobody laughed at. I do remember that
Another
too.
one, no one laughed at that.
Like, come on, that's clever writing.
Yeah.
I wondered, like, are those people dancing in front of the Soul Train? Are they getting on the Soul Train to go to the Eternal Ever After place, or are they just like hired by the underworld to dance in front of the Soul Train for the bit? I like to think that like
They got hired for the bit.
they're hired for the bit. It's like, yeah, this is the Soul Train. Your job, just dance here. Anytime someone has to get on the train, just dance.
Add pizzazz. You have to add pizzazz.
Got to have the theatrics with it.
Didn't they hear someone walking and then just start like, they're just like chilling, sitting down until they come.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. So, all right, yeah, I think my favorite character was it was obviously Beetlejuice. Second favorite is Defoe's character.
Yeah,
for me.
Defoe killed it.
He really did. And then least favorite character, the ex-wife, not because she was bad. Not that. And what was
interesting
What was the actress who played her?
I don't know the actress
I don't
name.
remember. She looks familiar.
Yeah. Oh, I can't
I've
think.
seen her
I don't have my
stuff.
laptop today. I can't look up IMDb and stuff like that. I meant to look up how much money this movie's made because I think it's doing really well.
Oh, I'm
sure it is. Like, our theater was packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but either way, she's not dead. I wouldn't mind if they brought her back in the threequel as long as they make her have a meaningful role.
Important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring Bob back too.
What did you guys feel about the audio and the visual of this thing?
I loved the audio, especially. I was thinking about it.
Elfman killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the soundtrack.
Yeah.
But then just with the mixing, all the audio dialogue was very audible. I could hear it. I could understand it. The sound effects were good, and there was a lot of times they really used the 3D effects of the theater to really good extent.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And we weren't even in a like Dolby Atmos theater. We were at like the local good theater, and I felt like there was a lot of really good 3D effects. There was one part where I actually went, like, looked over my shoulder a little bit, like it was really good.
Yeah. I thought like the sound effects were really good, like the sound design, like when he goes spill your guts, and then he opens up his stomach, and then he goes like everywhere. It's like.
That was a really good gut sound effect.
Thank
That
you.
was great.
Thank you. I'm good at gut sounds.
That was good. I thought the visuals were good too, though. Like
It's Tim Burton brought it on that.
he brought
yeah.
it, and they didn't look good, but that's what makes them look good.
That's the charm.
Yeah.
Like
They're
when
practically good.
DeVito turned, or not DeVito, your guy, your band, your
Willem
guy.
Dafoe.
Defoe. When Defoe
Yeah.
turned and like you could see the side of his head,
And it was not great looking.
it didn't look good. It looked like just like Play-Doh put on the side of his head. But I love that. That's fits the vibe.
That's the charm of this.
That's the charm.
Mm-hmm.
I liked
movie.
it. A
Low
scene
budget,
like that.
but not.
Yeah.
It was. It's in Beetlejuice's office when like they're going through it the first time, and there's like a literal like skeleton like puppet. Like blatant skeleton puppet, and she's like answering calls and pushing buttons on this machine, and it's literally like a puppet hand going like, "I'm answering your call," and I'm like, "That's awesome. I love that."
Yeah, I really liked how practical all the effects were, and they didn't look great. Like by standards, like I was not convinced that they were real by any stretch of the hand, but that kind of adds to the charm.
As the charm,
It makes them look really good.
It's over the top, ridiculous, but like so over the top and not over the top at the same time. Like. Like we're gonna go hard, but also not try it all at the same time, and it works.
It made me like I found myself constantly trying to guess what the people died from. There's a couple I didn't.
Yeah, that was really creative too. Like the
Yeah.
like
I
a
love
lot
that,
of the,
yeah.
those like just background characters.
Like the mall, it looked like a mall Santa where the present blew up was
there
kind of
yeah.
sad. Made me feel kind of bad for the guy.
Got the dude trapped in a box that drowned.
Yeah.
Oh,
It got
yeah.
me thinking, though, like, if that was real, if that was really it. Like, let's say I'm the Dietzes, and I know that how you die is how you, like, spend the rest of your time with the underworld. I'd, like, make sure I died and, like the grandma getting poisoned.
Yeah,
Like, that's got to be the way
that's
to
the
go.
best way to go.
Like, can you imagine being,
Just have
like,
some marks on your neck. That's it.
the guy trapped in the box for eternity?
Yeah.
Like, that'd be awful. Or, like, the guy who got blown up, one of the people with the shrunken heads. I just feel like, yeah, like...
or the fish flopping around on the dad the entire time. The piranhas. Yeah,
Just feel like there's got to be good and bad ways to die if that's the case. So it definitely got me thinking about like, I've always said like if I'm gonna like die of not old age, I want to go out and just like a mess that makes people's lives uncomfortable. Like they have to like clean me out of trees or something. Like,
No,
but like now I don't want that anymore because I
Yeah,
want
no,
to be
my-
a tree
man.
My favorite one, like your hypothetical ways you want to die scenario, is like you go when I get older and I inevitably get diabetes. I want to go sit on the beach, ingest a bunch of sugar, lay down in the sand, and let the ocean take me away.
Wow.
You know what?
What a
I've
way to
been
go.
told that it's not a peaceful sleep. I don't know. Maybe that person was lying to me. I was always told that like if you had a sugar overdose with diabetes, you just like your sugar spiked and you just like crashed and went into like a diabetic coma. And I just assumed it was a peaceful coma. Someone told me that it's not a peaceful coma.
How would you
like-
know? It's a coma.
Yeah, so I don't know. But yeah, that used to be my way. I was
Float
like,
out into the sea.
I'll just like be a 70-year-old man, just like when low tide, I'll go out, lay down a towel, eat a bunch of cake and Oreos,
Yeah,
and just
get a
like
bunch of Hershey bars.
let the sea take.
Goodbye.
Doesn't sound bad. I mean, what a way to go, honestly.
Yeah.
Sugar explosion.
It's like Quality with the Whale right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
for real.
That's-
Yeah.
I was a poet with my how I wanted to die.
yeah, then you're gonna
back
look up
in
and
the day.
go, gonna rise up into the sevens. Yeah.
Man, I was gonna ask how you guys want to die, but I feel like that's a really morbid way to like.
I
before
don't
we go
even
into
know
the
how I
rubric.
want to go out.
I really want to go from this old age in my sleep, surrounded by my family. But like, if I can't do that, I
Listen,
feel like
how
there's
many
gotta
people
be
get
fun.
that opportunity? You gotta get something goofy.
I
I
would
was
say
saying, I feel like there's
giant
got to
firework.
be funny ways to go.
Yeah. I would say, oh, no, not even firework. I would say strap me to like if we were at war, strap me to like one of the missiles and just send me over.
What would that accomplish? You being strapped? I feel like that just throw off its guidance.
It'd be cool though.
Put me on the other side, we'll even it out.
Yeah, exactly. We're both strapped on both sides. Yeah,
Yeah, why don't you just
got
like,
it.
get hit by a missile at that point?
No,
Ah,
we
but
want to
I'm not
ride
flying.
the missiles.
I'm not flying. Toy Story style.
Yeah,
to
I don't
infinity.
know. Whatever,
To
however
infinity.
I die, I just want it to be instant. Like I just want to like not realize I've been gibbed until
Yeah.
after the fact. Which is why I said like
Poison snake bite.
poison snake bite. I feel like
Yeah.
that'd be a moment of panic for a bit. Like I had a friend get bit by a black widow and he lived, but he said that just for like 3 days he just like was worried he was going to die. He was just like
That's terrifying.
Said he felt like,
Like
he
I
got
want
hit-
something venomous where it's just gonna kill me instantly.
Yeah, he said he felt like
Yeah.
he got hit by a truck and was just like unsure if he was going to like make it or
Oh, he
not.
felt bad too.
And the doctors were like, "Oh yeah, like most people live from these. Like you're fine." And they gave him some like mediocre pain meds that he said didn't do anything. And he just said they sent him home for like 3
I would
days.
still be. I'd be freaking out.
3 days. He said he felt like he got hit by a truck and could barely move. I was like, that would suck.
That'd suck. I'm filling out my will at that point.
Honestly, like that's the poison. I feel like is one of the worst ways to go.
Yeah, no, that'd be awful. That scene also made me die laughing though too when she pulls out the snakes that were defanged.
Yeah.
She's like
Immediately.
and then dies. That was
Pretty
good.
good. I love that. Like her last last words to her daughter and granddaughter are like, make sure you get a refund.
Yeah, on the snakes.
That's on you now.
That's on
and
you.
I was
Your
like,
journey.
that's pretty funny.
And then when her husband comes in, his entire top half of his body's gone. There's blood squirting out of him, and she's like, "Look what happened to me." Yeah,
I love her.
yeah.
No, that was good. I was gonna say almost made me think of a different movie, but I don't want to bring that up on the podcast. I loved this movie. I really did. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Front to back, top to bottom. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Any other last? We were worried that this was going to be a short episode, and I think that was a right worry to have. We're only at 40 minutes.
Dang.
Yes. Yeah, I know, right? But
There's not
I
much
feel
bad to say. I mean, anything bad to say is like minor bads.
We talked, extensively about the good stuff.
Yeah, and this being a comedy, without just saying and listing off the jokes, like, yeah, I feel like we've covered
Did
it.
its job.
You
Yeah.
guys ready to run it through the rubric?
Do it.
Yep.
Get my phone out, get my scores ready.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'll start us off with plot. I'm gonna go with a 4. I'm taking off 1 point for the ex-wife. I feel like that could have been done better. But other than that, I think plot, it did its job as a Beetlejuice sequel. Mm-hmm. Cool.
I'm going to do 3 for the plot.
Okay.
It's definitely the weakest part of the movie. Definitely for the wife takes a good chunk of it off, but then I felt like there was a lot of things happening that were like the same thing. Like this wife's we have a significant other here. We got this other guy here that was short-lived. Like there was no like main threat, so to speak. There was just a bunch of minor threats.
Okay.
Yeah.
No thoroughfare.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's cop to foe was probably the biggest quote unquote threat.
Yeah, minor threat, especially later in the movie.
Yeah.
See, I never interpreted him as a threat.
He was just another
I actually viewed him as like another anti-hero.
a fourth, fifth
Kinda,
party
yeah.
here in this whole mess.
Yeah. I would agree. He's like an anti-hero
But
character.
I mean, that's definitely the weakest part. Spoiler for my rest of my scores.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna go 3. I think I feel kind of bad doing it that low. But like Cole said, I think it is the weakest part of the movie. And I think for me, with the wife storyline, I think when you have such like a decent chunk of the movie, of the plot, that is completely pointless, I think it's hard for me to not. If the rest of the movie was like, oh my gosh, the plot is amazing, it'd be fine. But I'm going to give it 3. I think 4, with that much being kind of thrown out the window.
Yeah.
I think I have to go with 3.
I just feel like the plot was so much more consistent than the first one. And like
so?
even the parts of the movie where we're waiting to get to the afterlife. Because like that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Like I was waiting for that
And
to
that's
happen.
what everyone wants to see.
I
is
still
the goofy
didn't-
shenanigans.
I didn't
Yeah.
feel like that drug out and was boring. Like I thought that was still entertaining. Like I think for a movie that was this stupid, the plot was good. Minus
fair.
the white
That's fair.
stuff. So but I respect your 3s. Cole, why don't you start us off with characters?
I'm gonna go 4.
Okay.
Because I feel like while the character design was cool and the premise of the character was cool, the wife is a very just like, you don't get enough time to really like invest in the character there.
Yeah.
Like everyone else, you get a lot of screen time of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that character, obviously, we said it, you could do without her in the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just knock it down on that. But everyone else, I enjoyed very much so.
Yeah. Jonah?
I'm actually going to give characters a 5, believe it or not.
Wife withstanding.
Yeah, because
Really?
the wife, I feel like I knocked the wife off for plot because her storyline was pointless. But her character and the concept of her character, I still thought was cool. They just did nothing with her. But I thought it was a cool character idea. So, and all the other characters, like Beetlejuice is super iconic and memorable. I think every character in this movie probably made me laugh at some point.
Yeah.
I think every actor went, like,
They did a good job.
every
did a good
actor
job.
brought their A game for this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No one
and-
phoned it in.
Yeah, and I just liked all the characters. I don't really have any complaints character-wise. So,
Okay. I'm going to give characters a 4, like Cole. The wife definitely loses a point for me. I thought about taking off another point because of my comment, like I said, about the mom. I feel like they made, is it Olivia?
Lydia.
Lydia. They made Lydia seem stupid from time to time in this movie when I never interpreted her as a stupid character. But I think all in all, I think that what character they did present, even though it's different than how I interpreted her, was presented well and was very funny. So I'm gonna stick with a 4. Jonah, why don't you start us off on visuals?
visuals, I'm going to give a strong 4.
Strong 4.
Strong 4
Okay.
because I think
He's being strict on the ones I didn't think he'd be strict on, and lenient on the ones I didn't think he'd be lenient on. You're throwing me for a loop right now. Not gonna lie,
I'm
man.
an adventurous guy. I have no morals.
This is Jonas. He'll
morals.
I have no morals. I'm gonna give it 4. I think like art direction wise, this is like pretty peak. It's really strong. I'm giving it 4 because like there's just some scenes. I think when they go to the sand, Arrakis, the green screen looks a little rough there. I think, and when they're running, you can tell they're not really running. Like nothing's really moving. But it also was funny.
Being playing devil's advocate here, it doesn't add to the charm of the low budget, but also not low budget all at the same time.
That's true. That's like 10 seconds of the movie too. And then everything else, like you said, even if it looks I'm gonna go to 5.
You looked at me like I was supposed to say something. I was like, I feel like Cole has said like the best, but here's my 2 cents. You could, yeah. So you're going up to a 5.
I'm gonna go up to a 5 because like the design and the effects are so strong. I'll give it a 5.
Strong enough.
I think it outweighs the parts that are a little rough around the edges. Yeah.
I'm also going to give visuals a 5. I agree. This is Tim Burton. It was a genius as far as like scoring on this rubric because by making it look bad at times, it looks good. Like that was the goal. Like I feel like the goal was to look bad at times. So like even if something does look bad, like the green screen, I can't point to it and be like, well, because I feel like it was supposed to. Like I feel like that was kind of the charm of it. So yeah, I'm gonna give visuals a 5. I think for what he was going for, the visuals, the aesthetic he was going for, he nailed. Cole,
I'm gonna go 5.
okay. I was like, if you go 4 after convincing Jonah to go 5, I was gonna be like,
I'm gonna go 2.
yeah, I'm actually gonna give visual a 3.
I don't like
No, 5 for the same reason you said. Like it's the aesthetic and everything. The vibes of this movie are great. Tim Burton, A+ job on that.
Yeah.
On all that. I mean, it was definitely. You could obviously Beetlejuice is Tim Burton, but even if you had no idea, you could look at that movie and be like, you know what? That's Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Oh, it's completely off the walls, insane.
Frankenweenie.
Yep.
That's Frankenweenie.
Nightmare.
There it is.
That's Jack Skellington mode.
For Christmas, whatever that movie was called, yeah.
Alrighty. I started us off on that one, right? No, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I feel like we talked him into.
So it's me now. Okay. So audio is for me. I'm going to give audio a 5. The soundtrack was great. The sound effects were great. The mixing was fantastic. I could hear everyone all the time. And then the use of spatial audio at the theater was top notch. I feel like most movies don't take advantage of the full surround sound of a theater enough. And this movie took advantage of it.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't need to. So I'm going to give audio an easy 5. Cool.
I'm also going 5 for the same thing. The insert song's really good. In all the original music at the beginning, Elfman did a great job. Mm-hmm. He's a weird dude also, but he's good at what he does.
Oh yeah.
Jonah.
I'm also gonna go 5.
Wow.
I like the score. Sound effects were peak. I don't know. This sounds more. I like gross sound effects. Like I like the guts or whatever.
Those guts
or
sounded good.
The head like someone taking their head off or something. Or I don't know. Or the fish flopping around on that guy.
Those Foley artists were.
Those Foley artists were.
They should have sent them over to Borderlands and had them.
Give them some tips. A lot of people should have been sent over to Borderlands to work.
Have Tim Burton do Borderlands.
Yeah, honestly, I would love a Tim Burton.
I think he would. He could. Give him.
He's done non-spooky stuff.
Give him
before,
that cast of characters. Give him the plot and let him work with whatever he wants to do with it.
Let him do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Give him control.
I'm not wrong. Like Tim Burton's done non-Tim Burton stuff before, right?
Batman.
Batman. There you go. Like I was like, I feel like he's done non-spooky stuff before. Although Batman was still a little. That's the one
still
with the
gothic.
penguin, right?
Yeah.
Returns, yeah.
That's the one with Danny DeVito, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's still a little Tim Burton-y, but
it's still over the top and goofy, but it's not like the other
He
stuff.
did Alice in Wonderland too.
I mean,
and that's like still kind of Tim Burton coded.
Yeah.
That's a drug trip.
Yeah, that's a trip. Yeah.
My favorite part of Batman Returns, it just screams Burton, is the penguins marching with the bombs
Yeah.
into the sewer.
into the sewers. Oh, that's so
Completely
good.
ridiculous.
Oh, that's so good. Okay. Final category. Cole, I think you're leading us on this one. Enjoyment.
5.
Okay. Easy 5.
Love this movie. Yeah, there's no question about it. I would definitely watch this movie again.
Jonah?
5. I don't think I went a few minutes in this movie without at least chuckling.
Yeah.
So had a smile the whole time.
I think I'm also going to go a 5. Like it's hard to just outright recommend a movie to someone. Like, I feel like I usually have to preface it, but I feel like this one's one I could be like, yeah, you should go watch Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
It's really good.
I'd agree.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So that puts me at a 92, Cole at an 88, Jonah at a 92, bringing our total score to a 90.6. We'll round up. Beetlejuice gets a 91. Good job, Beetlejuice.
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 That's pretty good for it.
Solid movie.
How do I, Rutrow, I'm just going to put 91 here. We'll fix it later. It's not letting me type numbers or words. Oh, there it is. Okay. I figured it out. Give me 2 seconds. How do I spell Beetlejuice? Beetle. And then it's literally juice. Doesn't like a juice box, right?
Not the weird with a G and everything.
Beetlejuice.
Good job, Beetlejuice. A, getting an A. That's one of our few A's we've had. Let's see what else. Just scroll.
The Whale.
We've had the
The last one should get an A.
Dungeons and Dragons, the Mario movie. Okay, we've had more than I thought. Dungeons and Dragons, Mario
Oppenheimer.
movie. Let's pause for just a second. I know we redid the rubric, and maybe for the better. Let's look at our other A's here. Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, fair.
Would we say this movie's better or worse than Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh,
That's tough because again,
It's tough.
it's two different movies.
I laughed a lot at Dungeons and Dragons, and as Dungeons.
I think I would be
Dragons.
more inclined to watch this one than I would be for Dungeons and Dragons.
Kind of how I maybe feel too. We gave that a 95. The Mario movie, we give a 92.
better.
Yeah,
Oh, not objectively.
I mean,
probably. I like
it's
it more.
good.
But that's just me.
I like this a lot more than the Mario movie. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, we give it 93.
I mean, I would probably watch.
I
I'd watch
stand by
Guardians
that.
over
That
this.
one's solid.
Good movie.
And then Deadpool Wolverine got a 93. So I feel okay.
But
so
we got some other ones that weren't listed on there.
we had some real stinkers.
Oppenheimer.
In there. Oh, I have Oppenheimer 97. I don't know why I skipped that. Don't know
The
why.
Whale was also 100%.
The Whale was 100. That's our only 100 so far. Geez, yeah.
The Menu was an A.
Do I not have that on here? Oh, I do. It's at the top. What's wrong with me? It's on the phone. It's the phone. Trying to scroll past the time.
These aren't
text.
kids and their phones.
Yeah, these days, my phone's so small. Yeah, no, all in
Beetlejuice
all,
voice.
a good lineup. We had a real run of stinkers there. I feel like we're on the upbeat. And
Yeah.
then there's the Ends With Us, which I didn't hate.
No, it wasn't a bad movie.
Solid movie.
Not not our kind of movie, but yeah.
All right. The question I always ask when we're talking about stuff like this, do we want a sequel? And if so, what should the plot be? Where would you like to see it go? Maybe not what's the plot. What
I
direction would you
personally
see it
wouldn't be upset if we didn't get another one because one thing, Keaton's getting up there in years.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't want his performance is great here for him being what 70.
go? Is he that old?
Let's look at how old
He's
I
pretty
I
old.
thought he was early 70s.
He's got to be getting up there.
He's practically dead.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he's practically a
What do you
corpse.
He's practically
walking now.
Beetlejuice right now.
Yeah, he's basically Beetlejuice.
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe they can.
Yep,
bring his
73.
body-
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, he looks good for 73, but he's
Yeah, didn't realize he was 73.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's getting up there in years. I would rather them like have a really good duology than come in and pull a Halloween Ends and have a big old stinker at the end.
Do you think Tim Burton would do that to one of his best franchises?
I mean, there's a lot of factors in play with a movie.
Yeah,
how much money are they going to pay him?
that's valid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can they afford it, and is he going to be happy with that amount, and is he going to put in 100%?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you killed it here, where you have two really good movies, quality over quantity.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jonah.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean, I would definitely go watch it. I just don't know what they would do. Like, obviously, you could say like, "Oh, bring the wife back
Mm-hmm.
and do something with her." But like in terms of like the human characters, like I don't know. What do you do? Most of them are dead now, so it's like you have to get new characters, or I just don't know where you'd go after
And
this.
I think this movie also benefits from so much time passing between the first one to this one.
this movie, yeah,
I think the first one was 86, 87.
I've given this some thought. Burton, write this down. I want a third one.
okay.
I want the threequel. I want the trilogy. In my first off, the main reason I want it is because the whole gimmick is if you say his name three
Yeah.
times, he like summons.
Yeah,
I feel like to have Beetlejuice be the last one and not end it with Beetlejuice
Could be
Yeah.
like, hey, you never say 3 times.
it's just
Oh,
a
true.
wasted opportunity.
Bad stuff's going to happen after 3.
Here's my plot. Something bad is happening in the underworld. What's her face? Wherever she gets sent, because I want to utilize her, right? I don't want to write her out like we did what's her face from Star Wars Episode 8. I don't want to write her out. I want to utilize her. She's in the place worse than the underworld, and she's found an ancient evil Lucifer,
Who, the ex-wife?
Papa, yeah, the ex-wife, Lucifer, Papa, Sandworm, like something, and the underworld, the afterlife is in danger. And like I'm gonna say that people can't die, like they can't go to the underworld. Something's happening. People can't get to the underworld. Beetlejuice, being the anti-hero that he is, likes his job and his life's problem, so he teams up with the grandma, and he's now reluctantly trying to save the underworld. And in the process, he reaches out. He needs some humans' help, so he reaches out to the only two humans he knows via messages, and he teams up with Olivia and her daughter and the grandma, Lydia, sorry, and her daughter and the grandma, and the four of them team up to defeat the ex-wife and whatever evil and save the underworld so that people can die. So throughout the movie, people die, not be able to pass on. They're stuck in the real world, things like that. And then at the end of this is important, Tim. Please write this down.
Tim.
Beetlejuice dies.
Wow. Gets
Like
his soul
dies.
sucked?
No, like just he sacrifices himself in some way, shape, or form, and he like actually dies for realsies. Keaton can put down the mantle. We have the trilogy. It can't ever be picked back up and ruined in the future. Like he just dies.
I mean, so they recast him.
Enough dollar signs to make anything come back.
Yeah, but at that point we don't count it. So that's my idea for a sequel. Is something is happening. I'm oversimplifying it because I don't know what it would be. Like you're the writer, you do this. I'm just giving you the idea. Something's happening. Beetlejuice is no longer. He went from like villain to anti-hero. I want him to be genuine hero in the last one. Like reluctant hero's journey. He actually has to be a good guy despite all of his intentions.
I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good one.
Tim Burton, and you know he's watching. So.
Yeah, I know Tim Burton
you're
watches
watching
this.
As much as I was confident that Nolan was watching me rant on Way of Water.
Yeah. We know that Hollywood watches this podcast. Like we're solid.
all the
that,
directors
right?
watch it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, all right. Hey, do you guys have anything else to add to the end of this?
Not really.
I think that's it. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. If you enjoyed this, please share it with your friends. Encourage them to watch it. And then tune back in because we actually ended up getting almost to an hour. After this, we're going to sit down. We're going to do a little bonus episode. We're going to record is it a tier list?
Tier list.
A tier list of our favorite legacy sequels, things that Hollywood has dredged up for money and then put in front of us, good and bad. We're gonna rank and review them. So if you like this, share it with your friends. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.